Woo! All right, it is time for another week of Braves ID, guys. I'm ridiculously excited. I have also moved my office here, and I'm super excited to get started in this new spot. Oops, didn't want to create a countdown there. But I'm super excited to get started in this new spot. It might be a little echoey in here because there's not as much furniture. So just bear with me as we continue. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today, folks. If you are brand new to the stream, you haven't been coming in over the last couple of weeks to get in with your assignments, talk about all the things that we usually talk about here on our class live stream, folks. That's totally cool. We're going to talk about how all of this relates and eventually draws back to you doing your assignments well. Guys, kind of giving you a little bit of a breather week. Okay, so we have this week we're actually, we only have 4 days, so I wanted to create less stress on you guys, especially because we have Easter weekend coming up. Just note, trying to be as nice as possible, trying to help you guys out as much as possible. Make sure that you're getting on the stream if you have any issues. Get on the YouTube channel if you have any issues going forward about your assignment for this week. We're going to be talking about those here in a second, but before we start our assignments, again, today is Monday, so we'll be going over the graphic design assignment, the PIT assignment, and the AVP2 assignment today. And of course, AVP1 will be going over yours tomorrow because you meet tomorrow. I'll probably have a video posted for you already, but if I don't, that's why. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, let's give some shout-outs to our perfect attendance class. For the last 3 days of last week, we had perfect attendance in my 5th period graphic design class. So good for you guys. Here's my little cheesy applause for you. Here's my cheesy applause. Cheesy applause. Okay, cheesy applause. I just wanted you guys to know that because going forward, going forward, this is one of the huge thing for us as a staff, as community staff, as your teachers and stuff. We need you guys to check in. We need you guys to be kind of on the front lines of your assignments. We need you to do them well. So those of you that are checking in and being in attendance constantly, guys, you guys are the real MVPs. And I want you guys to know that because it's hard to do this job. It's hard to do this job without, I just realized I was echoing. Thank you for those of you that just commented and told me I was echoing. I was wondering why. That looked really weird in the audio, but wait for it. Let's see if I'm still echoing. I'm going to try that one more time. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 1 2. See if that did anything for us. There we go. That looks a little bit better. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with shout-outs, perfect attendance, 5th period graphic design. You guys did an amazing job going forward with your attendance. We thank you for that. Second, extra credit deadline. I had a few of you ask me an email in, or is all of our stuff really due on Friday? And of course, answer, no, absolutely not. But I was giving you guys extra credit this week and going forward. If you can get your stuff in by Friday, okay, so if you need the extra credit, so for example, let's say you get that 85 and, not good. You really wanted that A, but you got it in on Friday, okay? That gives you the extra. That means that you didn't procrastinate. You didn't procrastinate till Sunday. You got it in early on Friday. Good for you. You're going to get the extra 5 points, and that's going to give you your A, your 90 points, all right? So that can be a difference between a C and a B, and also a failing grade and a C. So if you guys are interested and you would really like to make sure that you get that extra credit, guys, it's a great way to get some extra credit, to get some, I'll also, if you get 100, I will put that extra credit on the previous assignment from last week, and I'm only doing that for this week. This is the only week I'm going to allow that to happen, okay? If you get a 100, a perfect score for this week, okay, and you get it in by Friday, I will put it on your previous assignment from last week, all right? So that's extra credit. Another thing is communication. We're having some issues with communication, and I want to start off by saying, first and foremost, some of you did really great with this last week, but we're having some issues with communication as it applies to you, the student, communicating with your parents. Okay. So first and foremost, you should constantly be contacting your parents, talking to them about the stuff that you have due, the things that you have that are due next. Talking about, of course, how you plan to get those resolved. And I want to make sure that they know that as well. So I have been calling a lot of your parents as well to let them know if you have any missing work, missing assignments, they know about it now. So make sure that you do your stuff. One thing I've seen, I saw five students do this last week, where you guys hit the turn in button. You didn't have anything turned in. And then I called your parents and they said, oh, well, they showed me their phone and their Chromebook and it said that they turned in and it showed that they had stuff attached. I said, well, yes, they had the stuff that I allowed them to copy to be attached, and then they didn't put any work in it. So I challenged your parents. I told your parents to check those out. Guys, don't try to pull one over on your parents. They're just trying to help you. They are trying to afford you a better education. And if you undercut them by doing that kind of crap, man, you're gonna really be in pain over the next couple of weeks if you do that. Okay, this is our last week in the 3-week cycle. I'm so excited about this, guys. Our last week in the 3-week cycle. No formative grades, as you probably known, as you probably figured out. We haven't been doing any test grades, but all of your formative grades will eventually pull up into those. So make sure that you do those well. Okay, and journal grades, of course, are coming through as well. I should have 4 grades for you by the end of this week. Your second grade from last week is going in over the next 2 days. You should have it by Wednesday. And then, of course, you'll have that 3rd week grade with your journal grade by the middle of next week after Easter. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. ACA Prep Thursday, 1 p.m. slot. If you haven't yet tuned in for our ACA Prep, last week I gave a little explanation on how that's going to work. 1 o'clock for Photoshop, 1:30 for Premiere Pro, folks. But I'll be recording those sessions if you can't make it, that way that you guys can get those in and do those well as well. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that as we go forward. I'll address that a little bit more on Wednesday and kind of what we're doing with that. If you don't yet understand or know kind of how that's going to work, guys, go tune into the YouTube channel. Go check out the live stream from last Thursday at 1 p.m. So last Thursday's afternoon session. So that is it's the live stream. I talk about it at the very beginning because I have AJ and Justin in live stream. Thank you guys for showing up. Much appreciated. So that is Thursday, April 2nd's live stream. Go back and look at that if you need any more information on ACA Prep. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and continue with our classes. Let's go ahead and start off with graphic design. All right. Graphic design, folks. I'm so excited about this one. So excited about this one. You guys are going to have a lot of fun with this. Graphic design, let me go ahead and pull myself over so you can see all the stuff. Okay. Your assignment for this week, a little bit different than previous assignments. It's a little bit more essay work, sentence work involved. So you're really going to get your English English sentences credits in this week because there is a little bit of that in this week's stuff. Okay. So I do want you to be aware of that. Let's go ahead and get this out of here. And let's add you guys in on let's add you guys in on this so you can see my screen. All right. So graphic design, we're going to start off with your assignment. And super easy for you guys. I plan this out as easy as possible. That way that you can, of course, have a chill week to get ready for the Easter weekend and time with family, stuff like that. So a little bit easier of a week for you guys. So let's go ahead and look at our graphic design classes. This is the first assignment. Sorry for that yawn. This is the first assignment. So this week we are ending our unit on marketing and design. So the first week we talked about the client. What does it look like when you're trying to explain to a client marketing and design? How do you promise confidentiality? How do you promise not only confidentiality, but a disclosure agreement to your client that says, hey, this is how we're going to make everything work. You gave us a 10-step process on, hey, this is how our business, my business would work. Some of you gave some amazing examples of that. So shout outs to some of you guys who really did, took the time in and did the work. Those of you that on your 10-step process that put like a line or a sentence or a little bit or a piece, guys, you didn't get full credit for those. And you'll see that. Go ahead and go back in there and look at the 4 P's assignment when we did that 10-step process. Make sure you go look at that. I think it was 4 P's that we did 10-step, right? I'm making sure. No, that was client. Yeah, that was client for sure. That was the client. Okay, I was making sure I had that right. All right. So yes, go back and look at that. If you didn't get all that stuff in, clearly it's going to be a little bit reduced. Make sure that you got those in, you watch those videos. Those are going to be really helpful for the days ahead. Okay, the 4 P's was last week. You guys, we worked through the 4 P's. We talked about them, guys. This is an industry standard. If you don't know the 4 P's, you are not going to do well in AVP2 next year. Those of you that are continuing with us, those of you that are exiting from us and going into, I know I have a few people that want to do graphic design and or AVP sort of in college. If you don't know the 4 P's, they're going to eat you alive in college, so that's why we gave them to you. Make sure that you know that. And, of course, we gave you an introduction to marketing and advertising. Now, on top of the 4 P's segment, I guess you can call it, we have to understand what the difference is between marketing, which is, talking to people, making sure that you know how the psychology of people works so that you can, market them a better product, and the difference between that and design. So this week, we are talking about the integration of those two separate ideas, okay? So we're taking marketing, we're taking design, and we're going to integrate them together. We're going to talk about what marketing is first, and you're gonna do a little bit of study on that. Then you're gonna write me kind of in, hey, this is what this actually looks like, and then you're gonna go into the design side. You're gonna, hey, this is what this is, okay, and then integrating those together. That's gonna be the pinnacle moment. I'm really excited for you guys to see. Now, I plan to do this on stream so that I could show you guys how this works. Okay, so I'm gonna edit this real fast before I walk you through this. And look at this lovely little bit down here. You see this lovely little checkbox right here that says originality reports. I'm going to click on it. And this is going to give me the ability to check your understanding of this topic. This is why. This is going to protect us against plagiarism. If you plagiarize your work this week, and I've had these on for a little while, if you plagiarize your work this week, it will show me exactly what you plagiarized, where you got it from, and how much of it you stole, yawn, my apologies, to put it into your assignment. Guys, don't plagiarize. If you plagiarize this week, one more time, if you plagiarize this week, you will get a 0. I have a no tolerance policy for plagiarism. The last couple of you that did do it, you got a comment in Google Classrooms, and then Classroom private comment, and then I shot you this is how much you plagiarized, and this is how much you got cut off. So those of you that made those 60s and 40s and 50s on your assignments because you plagiarized that much of your assignment, that's why, okay? Make sure you don't do that this week, guys. This is a really big one. Make sure that you understand this. I need to make sure that you can understand this, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and save that, and I'll go do it for 8th period as well so that you can see that it is something that I am bent on doing and making sure that you guys do it well. So let's hear originality reports, making sure you guys have that. Follow your 3 criteria rubric. All right, now let's talk about the actual assignment. Here's the assignment. Oopsies. Good for you guys, 8th period. 6 of you are already getting that in early this morning. We're before noon, and you guys have already got it in. Good for you. Here's the instructions going forward on this assignment. Your job this week is to evaluate feedback, understand artistic design, understand and analyze art elements in design and marketing, and being able to put those together, marry those together to be something fantastic. Okay, so this is how this works. You have 2 submissions this week, just like every week, right? We took the really heavy load of our 3 submission weeks, right, for our class, and we made them smaller. That way that you guys were less stressed out. That way that you had every ability and facet to get these done and do them well. I've already had a few email questions this morning, so I'm hoping that I answer those here in this stream, in this walkthrough. Okay, so here's the beginning of the walkthrough. Let me make sure that I notate my time here. That way that, okay. So this is it's somewhere around 6 minutes. All right, the walkthrough starts with Google Doc number 1, submission number 1. Okay, so let's talk about what you need to do. First and foremost, always go and read the content. The content this week is a website called, it's a how-to website on how to combine design and marketing for better results. Okay, I've given you some really awesome tidbits on this one. There's actually a video in here that gives you, it's a webinar. It's an hour long, so I don't expect you guys to view the whole thing. And that is an optional video. You do not have to watch that to do this assignment. Do not watch this hour-long video if you do not have to. But if you are interested in design and you want to do it well and you want to understand what it looks like to do marketing and design and do it phenomenally well, then you're gonna want to watch this. This is a great. My apologies. This is a great webinar by Mr. Tom Ross. Okay, this is over with a company of his called Design Cuts. Okay, so if you are interested in that, guys, watch it. If not, all you need to do is read the content above and below it. Okay, so he talks about design in the market, how designing and marketing are different from each other, how they work with different services, how one works with people, the other works with our psychology. It talks about the marketer's approach, how you should approach as a marketer, how you should approach as a graphic designer. And then, of course, it tells you how to fix the disconnect between the two. This is going to be a huge helpful thing when you get to writing your assignments this week. Okay, so let's talk about design thinking. Okay, first of all, of course, you as a graphic designer have every ability to approach certain, I guess you could say, projects different ways, okay? Many times you guys rely on your creative abilities, and now we want to marry those creative abilities with the ability to market amazingly well and be able to do those integratedly, okay? So, and this, of course, discusses the issue at the bottom, gives you some extra tidbits there at the very end, and that's all that is. That's all that you have to read, guys. That's it. Just that little... little piece right here. That's all you have to read. Once you've read it, then we can go into the actual assignment. So let's check out assignment number 1. Assignment number 1 is the difference between marketing, design, and then marrying the two together. Do you see that? So you're doing the same thing for marketing that you're doing for design, and then you're going to do the same thing in marketing and design at the bottom. So let's talk about what this is, how we do this effectively. Okay, so what you're going to do is paste in this box a good example of marketing, okay? So if I'm me and I'm on my Chromebook, I might go to Google and I might type in good marketing. And I might go to images. And I might go through here and go, which one of these do I think really expresses what I just read in this article? So for example, I might go here and say the marketer's approach. Building interest in a brand, talking in terms of concept, copy, funnel, conversation, and brand tone. Ooh, I wonder what those are. I could probably Google those. Probably a good idea. Okay. Also, what it looks like to market well and how you should start. Okay. You can also come down here and check out how marketing on different projects works really well with marrying design, but I don't want you to talk about design just yet, okay? So in this first section, paste something that you think meets those requirements in that article, okay? So paste any advertisement. Let's assume you put a Coca-Cola one in there, okay? So using your knowledge after reading the article, and the Coca-Cola one says, making happy memories forever, okay? All you're going to do, and if you're a paper copy, all you have to do is draw that. So just draw those out that you've seen, okay? Using the knowledge after you've read the article, why does this image you've chosen give good marketing techniques? So let's go back into our article. Let's read, okay, marketing uses a bunch of different tactics. For example, the 4 Ps. We know that marketing uses the 4 Ps. We know that marketing also uses our 6 layout, composition, uh, principles, right? That's type, that's line. All of those guys, go back into your notes from earlier last semester and go read those. So how do the six layers, the six layout composition principles work with our 4Ps, and how are they doing that well in that advertisement? Then let's go down into design and let's talk about that. In this box, I want you to give me a great example of design, not necessarily marketing, but design. So let's say you put a Nike advertisement in there, okay? And they had the Nike thing with the swoosh, and it was all in rainbow colors, and it was like the swoosh came down into a really cool, city with a bunch of people holding hands, and they were all in a circle, and they were singing Kumbaya. And it was all about coming together at the end of the coronavirus. Let's assume that was it, okay? Using your knowledge after reading the article and your knowledge of the nine, or I'm going to add those actually here, that way that you don't forget those. For P's and 6 principles of layout composition. Let me put these in here as well, that way that you can remember those. Ooh, of course it's going on to a new page. Okay, and then of course, let's go back. This is 9 principles of design. And if those of you that aren't necessarily reading this just yet because you haven't gotten to this part, no big deal. Or oh, good for you. I think is that Sarah? Good for you, Sarah. Already getting started with your stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and push this down that way that it's just a little bit easier to see. Okay. Of course it is. Okay. So I want you guys to see that. All right. So I want you guys to see that because that'll help you create these areas. Okay. Paste in this box, great example of marketing. The one down here, paste example of design. Then explain to me why this design works well. Well, there's an emphasis on this. Maybe there's some variety in this. The proportions of this look really good. Okay. Use your 9 principles of design to express and explain to us how this works with that design. Then go to the bottom, and of course, you are going to marry the two together. You need to find one example that has great marketing qualities, great design qualities, and you need to show us that by marrying those together. So let's look at this. In this box, great example of the two of them. In the bottom, making sure that you put those two together. Tell me about how it marries the 9 principles of design with those composition principles, with those 4 principles, those 4P marketing principles. Okay, what does that look like? Okay, if you're not sure, come up here to that article that we were just talking about. Walk down to the bottom. Oop, where'd it go? And how to fix the disconnect. This is a great example of how to create a connected piece of work that has marketing and design in it at the same time. All right. So that's pretty much you guys for submission 1. That is a walkthrough. You make sure that you have 5 sentences for each of these. It is required. If you don't do those 5 sentences, look at the top. Oops, I didn't put it in there yet. So if you don't do those 5 sentences, each of those is 6 points a piece. So if you don't do 5 sentences, you get that just gets completely minused out of that segment. So for example, if I only did 2 sentences for the top one, you just get the minus 6 point, or the minus, I think it's 10 points because it comes down to 30 per submission, or 45 per submission. But do 45 divided by 3, so that's 15 actually, right? So if you don't do one, it's 15 points a piece. Don't be the guy that doesn't do one, guys. 15 points, that's an immediate 85 if you don't do one of those boxes. Be smart. Sorry, so I had to quick math. Sorry for all that confusion. But yeah, 15 points a piece. Don't do one of those, or don't complete all of the sentences. 15 points off, folks. Be smart. Do it right. Second submission in here is a little bit easier. It's just an ad analysis. I give you an advertisement at the top, and I want you to explain to me, does this represent a good example of using marketing and design? Put 3 sentences of both. And remember, use that vocabulary that we used using 4Ps, your 9 principles of design, and your layout composition principles. Okay? Make sure you use those. That's going to be super helpful for you guys going forward. Knowing those things, being able to do those things in the near future. Hopefully that helps you guys out. That is graphic design to a T, folks. That's exactly what we're looking at for that assignment. If you have any questions, please contact me on my email, jordan.fitzwater@communityisd.org. You can also contact me on Google Hangouts. I'm always live on YouTube, 11 to 12 and 1 to 2 p.m. every single day this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have Good Friday off this week. Remember that. Take some time and don't do stuff. I would personally, I would say, hey, go do everything on Thursday or go do everything Monday through Thursday. That way you don't have to do anything on Friday. You get Friday off. You get to chill out. And I know, of course, chilling out means a lot of different things to a lot of you. I want to really give a few shout outs to a few folks in our graphic design classes that are doing all of this work and still having to take care of nephews and other kids and other little ones and stuff because daycares and stuff are closed. Folks, I understand how terrible and taxing that can be. So I feel your pain. I understand exactly how taxing that can be. I want to encourage you that you guys are doing this very well. So many folks are doing those things as well as taking care of other people in their house and still getting this in. And another thing, just real quick, I have a lot of people that are also doing that, but you guys aren't asking for help, and you need it. So ask for help. I'm here. I'll walk you through it. I walked a few kids through it the other day. I sat there for 15 minutes and literally walked everyone through exactly how to work everything out. Last thing, I have a lot of students that aren't doing the work, especially some folks in 8th period. 5th period, you guys are really kicking tail right now. Just congratulations on you guys, except for maybe like one or two of you. Make sure that you guys continue on that. But 8th period, I got a lot of folks that are just kind of like falling off the deep end, and you're not taking care of kids, and some of you aren't doing that stuff, and some of you are just being lazy about it. Guys, don't do that. I've got students that are doing way more than you are, that have more responsibilities than you are right now, obnoxious amounts of responsibility, and they are still getting their work in, folks. I don't want to be the guy that charges you guys with, because I don't know what's happening at home. I'm not sure, and I'd like to. If you have a concern, if you're, for example, hey, Mr. Fitzwater, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this in because I'm doing this, and this. It's impossible for me to get online. Let's talk about it. Let's get you walked through it first. Then we can talk about you being, behind the times or behind on assignments and stuff like that. I'm not going to give that accommodation to you if it's not. If it's not one of those things that you're allowed to have, but one of those things I want to make sure I do is meet you halfway. So I'm not going to say that it's not going to be due, or I'm not going to give you a time extension. But what I am going to do is I'm going to meet with you, and we'll have a one-on-one, and of course we will get your assignment done, even if I need to walk you through it step by step. All right. Please allow me to help you. That is my job. I want to make sure that you guys succeed. I want to make sure that you have hundreds all the way across in that grade book. Please find me on any of those 5 assets that we have to contact me on. Some of you have been doing a great job on that. I will see you guys later. Good luck, graphic design. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeehaw. Okay, so that was graphic design. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Principles of Information Technology. Those of you that are in PIT yearbook, we're going to go ahead and start our section here. You guys have a pretty similar section to what AVP had last week, except yours is a little bit more geared towards graphic design and production. Okay. So printing and imaging technology yearbook, folks, let's go ahead and talk about let's go ahead and get over there real fast in our bumpity-dum. Sorry, my iPad's actually in the way of me doing this well for you guys. All right, good. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about this. PIT, printing and imaging technology. Let's talk about your stuff this week, right? We're going into week number 2 of small businesses. AVP did this last week. If you want to go in and check out their recording from their playlist last week, you're more than welcome to do so. Let's have a quick turnaround and talk about small business and how it applies to you guys this week. You have 2 submissions. You need to know the 4 Ps. You started talking about the 4 Ps in your journals last week, so this should be nothing new to you guys. You guys should know them. You read this article already once. All you have to do is apply that in this, my apologies, in this submission. Okay, that's the idea, is in these 2 assignments. So the first assignment is you are just going to be completing a worksheet over the 4 Ps to make sure that you know and understand the content. All you're literally doing is opening up this beautiful worksheet, and you are answering the questions. What is ROI? Define marketing in 1 sentence. All of those are in the videos that are given to you in Google Classroom, so please watch them and read before you start this, guys. I had a few people ask me in the last session, what is it that this is for? What do we actually do down here on the bottom? Great question. You have a marketing object and a marketing strategy. So for example, and I'll give you the answer to the first one, you have an iPhone. Now, is an iPhone a product, a price, a promotion, or a place? Okay, which one does that represent? Of course, the best. So an iPhone, we of course would know is a product. We are of course matching those because I want to make sure that you know the difference. Now, some of these down in the bottom are going to get a little bit iffy, and hopefully you guys will see the difference between those. Internet, social media, and social media commercial. Those could be one of 4 things, and some of those are really close together, so you got to be really, really careful on which one you choose to do where, or place where in marketing strategies. All right, so that is submission 1. Super easy. Make sure that you watch all 3 of the videos. You do this one over here. This one introduces you to marketing strategies and things like that. Let's talk about, of course, new client onboarding. This talks about how to onboard new clients and make sure that they, whoops. I don't know why that's doing that. Oh, it's slipping out of the back. That's why. Give me a second to fix that. Boop. So anyway, while this is playing and I'm fixing my camera, so you guys have the opportunity to, oopsies, there we go. You guys have the opportunity to do this really well by just watching these videos. This one is on marketing and onboarding and how to onboard a new client. This one down here, of course, is marketing to the individuals, what it looks like to market, it's kind of like a 101 session. The 4 Ps of marketing also has a video inside it. If you'll scroll down, if you've read it already because you read it for your journal last week, you're pretty good to go. Read all the way down that. Then, of course, come up here and watch this video on the 4 Ps of marketing. She gives a really good explanation on that. Remember that marketing is not design. Those are 2 different ideas. So if you're watching the stream, you'll know a little bit more about that, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But 4 Ps of marketing, watch those 3 videos. Super informative things for you to utilize. And, of course, submission 2. You guys created a website last week. So cool. Really excited to see some of those. But you guys created a website last week, and in that website, you guys had a services page. Now, on that services page, we want to give an introduction for your clientele to see what services you provide and why you do them the way you do them. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to unload on your clients the 4 Ps of marketing. Okay, so what you're going to do is on your services page, you'll post a video. Now, that video is going to be, you can post it here in a link right there, or you can post it in Google Classroom. Either way works, boys and girls. You can do it either way. But you'll take a video of yourself. You can take it just with your iPhone. You can take it with like a Wii video. Either way works. It's up to you. Okay, but you're going to explain the 4 Ps of marketing, how you use them, and then, of course, how you're going to help your clientele use them as well. So that's what your video is going to be. Don't make it too long. Make it super short, super sweet. That way that they watch it, go, wow, this is something I really want to get on board with. Okay, so talk about, of course, okay, so the 4 Ps of marketing are blank, 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 blank. The reason we use this is because blank. We plan on helping you use them by giving you the correct tools to do this while also doing this, while making sure that your promotion looks like this and that your prices are a blah, 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 blah. You explain that, okay? Then you go into explaining how you use them and you use them in your own business. Currently in my own business, you'll see these in multiple facets. For example, give examples of the 4Ps that you use in your business that you created using your website last week. Okay. Then, of course, after you do that, give them a little sign off, say thank you so much for your time, and exit out of that video. Once you've done that, you can post it. You're good to go. That's all I really need from you guys this week. Just that first submission and the video submission. If you have any questions, you can ask me. If you don't have any way to do the video, you can also do the essay portion. If you'll scroll down, there's a portion for you to do your essay inside this box. Should you choose to do an essay option on this, oopsies, giving you guys an extra space. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, good. Please write your essay over what would be in my welcome video on my service page. So all you're doing is, instead of doing a video over that, like I just explained, you're just going to write it in an essay form. Pretty simple. If you have any more questions on that, guys, find me at jordan.fitzwater@communityisd.org. Find me on the Google Hangouts. Find me on Google Meets. I'll post those in the Hangout, post them in the stream. Find me on the stream. Find me in private comments. Find me literally just about anywhere. You can find me in the live comments here on YouTube. Okay. Speaking of, are there any live comments? Nothing. Awesome. So we're gonna keep moving here. Good stuff. Glad that we got that out of the way. Okay. So PIT, if you have any other questions, go ahead and get those to me ASAP. I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that this has been enlightening. And of course that it makes sense. If you have any questions, please find me. Your book is, I believe, almost completely done. I'm putting some some staff pictures in there, and it'll be sent off. So I hit the green button. They gave me some ping back and said, hey, fix this. So I'm fixing it, and then we're going to be done. All right. I hope that makes sense. You guys have a phenomenal week. Yeehaw. All right. Next one. Next. Dang it. All right. Next one we're going to talk about is we did graphic design, we did PIT, AVP2 folks. You guys are meeting today. You guys have a really fun one. I'm really excited to see you guys do this really well. All right, so audio video production 2, you guys have a little bit more fun this week than the last couple of weeks. It's a little bit smaller of an assignment, I think, because it pales in comparison to you guys creating an entire daggone website and then, of course, doing the small business stuff that our PIT folks are doing this week. So I hope that this helps. I hope that this makes sense to you guys. If not, please come find me. Come contact me on email. Man, I hear from some of you almost once a week. It's great to hear from a lot of you once a week. Some of you have not yet even darkened my door. Some of you have not asked me any questions. You haven't got on the stream. You haven't got on and talked to me on Hangouts. You haven't talked to me on anything. Man, I'm going to be contacting you guys, checking in, making sure you're okay. But folks, make sure that you guys are doing these assignments well. Make sure that you're also taking every ability and facet that you have to do these well and getting those hundreds. I want to make sure that you guys get freaking A's all the way through this, all right? I want you guys to succeed really well, all right? So let's go ahead and talk about AVP2. Let's talk about your assignment this week. It starts off with, of course, small business week number 3. We are entering the industry. Finally, I'm so excited about this one because you guys actually get to see industry folks that are doing the stuff that you're doing right now in class, but they're doing it well. They're making somewhere between, 40 to 80 grand a year, and they're doing your class, your job that you really want in the coming years really well. So I want you guys to see how they do this. I want you guys to see their websites so you can go, oh, what great examples. Now we're going to fix them. So I didn't give you guys these first because I wanted you to create your own website so that you could see some of the errors that we usually make in making websites. Then after you see these, hopefully you'll go, oh, that's what I need to have on my website. Those are the things I need to have present. So hopefully this is kind of an eye-opening experience for some of you guys, and it gives you the ability to see a little bit better into the future what your company is going to look like. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with the entering of the industry. Really excited about this one, folks. 2 submissions, that's it, folks, and we only have 4 days this week. I'm really excited about this. We also only have 4 weeks until we come back to school, May 4th. So far, I don't know if it's going to get extended, but so far, that's where we're headed, May 4th. Let's see what happens over the next 4 weeks. Let's hope that curve starts to plateau and we start to see some really cool improvement. Let's start talking about your submission. Now, submission one, you'll see a few of these companies listed down here, and this is going to be really helpful for you guys to see, hopefully, in the coming weeks, what it looks like to be one of these companies, all right? So let's talk about it. You can choose one of the following companies below, and then all you're going to do is you're going to explain the beginnings of the company. Okay, and you're not doing this free form. I've given you an exact line by line. It seems that this class really likes line by lines and seeing how to do those. So I'm totally down for creating those and showing you guys how to do those. So what I do want to do is give you every facet to do that, create those line by lines by giving those to you in Google Doc form. Okay, so here it is in Google Doc form. This is success stories. You're going to pick one of those companies that I listed down there below, place the name in it, go and find when it was founded, many awards and achievements that it's had. If none, you can place none in there and tell me why you think they don't have any. Tell me their main focus. What are they focused on? Are they focused on maybe the customer's vision, the customer themselves, the product? Are they focused a little bit more on promotion? Think about the 4 Ps that we talked about last week, okay? Then maybe their motto and slogan. For example, Nike is just do it. Well, some of them actually have their own slogans. If they don't, they have mission statements. See if you can find, well, I'll put that in there as well. That way that you can go find that motto, slogan, or mission statement, okay? So you can go and find any of those. Super helpful to have, because you'll probably want to do those on your own website as well. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on. Let's talk about the next section here. Each one of these sections has got to be 5 sentences. Now, the reason I ask this is because I want to make sure that you have a complete handle on what these companies look like, what this looks like for you going forward, especially for those of you that really want to get into the small business era of this and want to go, hey man, I really want to get into creating my own business doing this type of thing, or get into one of the small businesses that already exist. I actually have one in that list from Houston that actually, I think it's like Why Not Productions. Interesting little story they have there. Go ahead and read up on it. You can Google any of those stories, or you can go in here and click on the manifest. The manifest has all 100 of the production companies, top 100 production companies that exist currently. You'll see Spark House is on here, Veracity Collab is on here, Blue Studios, Cairo, BX Films. My favorite personally is Cairo. If you're really looking to do one that does a lot of really cool analysis, Cairo is the one to do. It just has the most information on it, folks. So think about that. Think about doing it that way. Probably a good idea to do somewhere. It's like Cairo, BX Films. Those are the really big ones. Okay. Let's talk about. I'm really excited about this one because you guys get to see how these guys work. Let's look at the next portion here. It says below, explain what makes this company notable. What's different about this company than other things that you've seen so far? Okay, what makes you want to hire them as maybe a consumer? What makes you want to work for them? Okay, do you want to work for them, and why? What makes it seem? And don't put their website looks really cool. That's why I want to work for them. Guys, come on. You guys are better than that. And I've seen you guys do some really great analysis over the last couple of years that I've known. Every one of you has the ability to create some really good work here. So go ahead and analyze this. Tell me why. Why would you want to work for this company, or why not? Maybe you'd like to hire them, but you wouldn't mainly want to work for them. Okay. Do they look stuck up? Do they look excitable? Do they look easy to work with? Talk to me about that. That's what I want to see. All right. Let's talk about the next point. I'm sorry, I have to keep moving my camera. It seems to keep sliding down. I'll have to fix that later. Let's talk about the next one. 5 sentences in this one as well. Major design ideas that draw the customer in and make them want to hire this company of individuals on their website. So this is talking specifically on their website, not the individual, like the work they've done, not the notable achievements, not all the other stuff. This one is specifically for their website. What about their website draws you in? What about their website makes you want to hire this group of people? Okay. What is it that makes them more easier to want to hire than everybody else based on their website alone? Okay. So on their website, let me make sure I make that an emphasis. Okay. So talk about the major design ideas. Talk about the things that they're doing that you're not. Okay, maybe talk about the things that you see on one that you don't see on the other. Maybe you go into cryo, and then you go into BX Films, and then you go, man, cryo is really great at doing this, but BX Films doesn't have this yet. Okay, you can compare and contrast those. That'd be a really easy way to get that kind of done. So let's talk about the next one. Changes that you would want to make to your website to make your audience draw closer to you, to want to be able to hire you. So based on the things that you've seen above, what are some of the things that you are going to change? Don't give me a list. I don't want to go, oh, this. Do not give me a list. If you list things out, I will take points off. Don't do it, guys. What I do want to see is that you have the ability to analyze. Okay, I'm not doing this well yet, but I could add this, and this, and it would probably help me out. 2 sentences. Sentence 3. Man, one thing I really saw is the kind of the animated design or the video design of some of their backdrops and how they're creating those ideas in their backdrops. And it looks really appealing and makes me want to dive into their industry or their company and their services. Really want to get a part of that. Talk to me about that. Now, what are you going to do to make yours the same? Then at the very end, using the manifest, which is that link that I gave you in Google Classroom, what company or companies would you consider applying for and possibly working for? Okay, so go through the manifest, and I want you to click on the manifest, and I want you to scroll through here. Find which one you like the most and go, man, Casual Films. Let's click on this one. Is it site? And I go into their website and go, this looks really good. I would really want to work for them because they do this. Now, each one of these film companies does something different. Casual Films does something completely different where they partner with nonprofit organizations and stuff, whereas Brandify does something completely different as well. They're more of a marketing, graphic design, video production agency, whereas Lemon Light is something a little bit different as well. Okay, they have a group in Austin, Texas, actually, that specializes in content marketing. They do broadcast video where they actually do live streams and marketing videos via live streams. Okay, if you're interested in stuff like that, this would be the company for you. But that's what I want you to see is which one of these works best for you. Read through these, go, man, I would love to work for this company. That would be awesome. It would be a dream. Tell me why. Okay, so that is submission 1. That's your walkthrough for submission 1. Let's go ahead and talk about submission number 2. Super easy. This is your activity. You're going to create a small business startup plan. Okay, in this Google Doc. This is going to be your plan to start your small business. If you were not to go get hired by those guys and you are just going to start your own small business with your website that you have already, for example, I'll give you the example of Dylan and Justin. So Dylan has one called Full Exposure. All right. He would take Full Exposure and he would say, this is how I would start it and this is how it's going to work. Justin would take Endeavor Productions and he would go down the list and say, this is how I want to start it and this is why. These are all the things that I would do. Now, how do we know what to do? How do you know how to start a small business? That's why I give you the link that says how to start a film production agency. Okay. Step 1 through 9. Okay. And you can read through all of these. And there's 9 steps here that gives you the ability to help promote and do well with your business, how to register taxes and EINs. Most of you are in graphic design last year. You guys already know how to do that. We did that in class last year. So you guys already know how to, you're a step ahead. Okay. Opening business bank accounts and credit cards. You need to know that that's a thing and that you're going to have to do that. Now there's multiple different facets of each of these steps, which means there's not actually 9 steps. There's multiple different pieces of those steps and you have the ability to critique these and make them the way you want to do them. Now, you may not do these in this order. You may think that you probably want to plan your business out, then get your EIN, then get your bank account, and then start doing stuff like, for example, forming legal entities. Then you might want to register for taxes, which would not be good because you probably want to register as a legal entity first so that you can do all that stuff first. Then you might want to go in and you might want to get all your certificates and your licenses. Then you want to define your brand. Then you want to get business insurance. Then you want to create a web presence, or maybe you want to create your web presence first and then do all these things. This is up to you. This is not bread and butter. I'm not saying that you should utilize this as your how-to for sure. This is how it goes. This is how it's going to be, period. That's not what this is. This is just some recommendations on how to do that. What I want you to do is in that Google Doc, explain to me how you would do it. So you have 15 different steps here. on how you presume to start your business. And I want to see how you would do it. That way that you have this, even when you get out of high school, some of you that will be getting out of high school next year, going into the real world, and maybe you go to college and you're like, man, I really want to do a business startup and want to, do that through college. That way that I can, make some money. Easy way to do that. Here's your startup plan. And these are the steps that you would take to do that. Use that website that I've given you at the top, the How To Business. That's going to be your bread and butter, folks. Okay. Yes, I give you the disclaimer. Yes, I know there's only 9 steps, guys. Don't use them in order. It's probably pointless to use them in order because they can be used in basically any order, except for the fact that you probably need to make your legal entity first. Okay. In the box below, repaste your website link. And the additional changes you've made since you've looked at submission 1. Because remember, these websites are going to be part of our existence going forward. You're going to need them, folks. You're going to need them because they're going to be one of the biggest portions of your, one, of your ability to be a small business, 2, of your production company and agency next year. Also, in the end of this year, make sure that you're using this to your advantage. I really want to make sure that you guys have a phenomenal, amazing. Well, let me see if I got these off. I want to make sure I got these. Okay, cool. Phenomenal, amazing businesses. And I want to make sure that you have a great face for that too. So I will work with you. Trust me, you can ask a few people over the last couple of days that have asked me for loads of help and have, we've met on Google Meets. We've met in email. I've texted folks. I've made sure that you guys could find me on Google Voice. Any other of those options or opportunities, Remind. You guys can't reply on Remind, but I can always send out the reminders for you. But I want you to see that because, guys, this is where we're headed going forward. I want you to make sure that you have a startup plan just in case you do decide that you want to do something like that. All right. So that's the AVP walkthrough. I hope that makes sense, boys and girls. You guys are doing some amazing stuff. Make sure that you get these in on time. You only have a 4-day week this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No Friday classes. Be smart. All right. I will see you guys later. Make sure that you have a phenomenal, phenomenal week. All right. Cool. Good stuff. All right. This is the time where I'm actually going to go back through and check out. Oops. Let's go back to our graphics section. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're going to go back here. I am watching for some live stream comments. I'm going to go ahead and filter through my email and see where you guys, or what questions you guys have regarding this week. Do not be afraid to go in there and ask questions. I want to make sure everybody has all of their questions answered. Let's go ahead and check out the email real fast. Oh, looks like I'm getting a few. Oh, and I'll just look at it here. That'll be good. All right. Ooh, okay. Yeah, good question, folks. No, your stuff is not due on Thursday of this week. I know I've been making my stuff say it's due Friday, and no, you did not get late grades for those things being due Friday. All of you got full credit if you got it in by Sunday, just like everybody else. If you didn't get it in by Sunday, make sure that you get it in ASAP. Okay? Today is a 70. Tomorrow, it's a 50. And every day after that, it's a 0. Make sure that you get in last week's assignment. I still have a lot of missing assignments. Bar none. Let's actually go back and look at those real fast because I think we can go in and look and say, hey, so-and-so's class missing so many assignments. Okay, so AVP 3, AVP 1 in third period, sorry. You guys, I have 6 people missing assignments. AVP 2, small business marketing production. I have 4 people missing those assignments. Let's see. Printing and imaging technology. Yes, printing and imaging technology. This was small business production practices. I'm missing 3 of those. Make sure that you turn in your junk. Oh my goodness. I don't have a website for one of you. Next one, let's look at, this is 5th period graphic design. 5th period graphic design was marketing and design using the 4 Ps. Holy crap, they have them all in. Oh my gosh. Except for one person. They have them all in except for one person. All right. If you don't have that in, go get them in, folks. Dang it. You guys were doing perfect attendance, and you almost had everybody turn everything in. And they're all in on time. None of them are done late. Good for you guys. Claps for, what is that? Where'd my little claps for 5th period? Okay, sorry. I'm loving that little thing. It's making me happy over there. Let's see. 8th period. Let's check it out. 8th period. Ooh, ouch. Okay, so I'm missing 7. 8th period, I'm missing 7 of those. Make sure that you do them well, folks. Do them well. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Okay, I see a lot of people did the essay portion. Ooh, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you that did the video. Thank you. I'm excited to go watch those. That's going to be exciting. All right, I hope that makes sense. I hope that you guys are going to go get those in because, folks, 70 as of today. So that's what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 people that are going to have a 70 today. If they do not get them in by the end of today, they're going to have a 50 tomorrow. So go get them in, folks. All right. Good. That's all I have for today. That is 12 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and get off the stream. You guys can find me in Google Classroom, Google Hangouts, private comments, my email, all of those things. I'm going to be on there for the entire day, for, well, the most part of the day. I'm actually going to give me some lunch, get off the stream, take a break. I'll be back on here for the afternoon session, and we are going to talk about new procedures going forward, new classes going forward. I'm really excited about, and yeah, we're going to get started on those as well. All right. And a few of you have not actually signed up for those classes, so sign up for those classes. If you don't know how to do that, go contact your counselors, Schweikert or Miss Wilburn. They'll help you out with that. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and get off the stream. You guys have been awesome. Hoping that this has been insightful. You guys have a good one.